Brand disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this platform by individuals, callers, or invited guests are their own. The information you hear does not reflect the overall views of all parties associated with the brand. We encourage everyone to research all things heard live or via archive for edification purposes. Discretion is advised.
Don't touch that dial. You're now listening to Debate Talk Free Radio.
Hey, faithful listeners and thinkers. My name is Reese Roberts, and I'm the host of a new podcast called Entertain the Thought, now available on SoundCloud and www.reeseroberts.com. The website and podcast are focused on teaching consciousness and human evolution in current social conditions. As a free member on reeseroberts.com, you'll have access to curated content like videos and free book downloads. You can also schedule personal consulting services for teenagers, singles, and married couples. I also offer an enrichment training program that teaches students the fundamental arts of research and debate to increase their knowledge of self. The T-Team is now open for enrollment. For more information, please visit www.serveincorporated.com/register. Again, that's www.servincorporated.com/register. Thank you very much for tuning in to Debate Talk for You Radio.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to another show. You're now listening to Season 10. That's right, Season 10 of Debate Talk for You. I'm your host, Sal Showtime. We are back. Tonight is the open mic segment. Originally, we had a show lined up for you guys. We had a dialogue set up between Weed Eye and Cozy. However, Cozy couldn't make it. The title of that show was going to be Are the Hebrews the Hyksos? Are the Hebrews the Hyksos? So hopefully in the near future we can reschedule that and make it happen again. So we decided to have an open mic right here on Debate Talk for You. For the open mic, for those who are not familiar with the open mic, anybody can call in. All you got to do is dial that number, 319-527-623. And, of course, I invited some special guests to join us and set the tone for the conversation. But anybody can call in that's listening via social media. Number is 319-527-6239. Simply press number 1, and we can add you to the conversation. We can bring up various topics. You know, we got to keep it clean, though, keep it professional. You know, nothing really profane out there, you know what I'm saying? But, however, it is an open mic. So for those who didn't press 1 yet and you want to join the conversation, press number 1, and I'll bring y'all in so we can all speak. I know my brother is here. I'm a Yan. Welcome to the program.
Hey, shalom, Sal, Deshaun, everyone listening out there.
What's going on with your fam? What's happening?
Same old, man. You know me, in the book, studying, man, making sure all things is on point, everything is correct, you know, defending the gospel constantly.
No doubt, no doubt. Now, I'm glad I got you on, man. I'm glad I got you on. Yesterday's show, you know what I'm saying? Let people know about yesterday's show, man, since you're here, you know what I mean? And maybe let some people know and promote your show next week. Talk about it. Open mic.
Okay, yeah. Yesterday's show, Bleedo was saying some stuff about the blood not being literal, and he called me out. He says that, you know, I don't understand what's spiritual, and it's funny how I got a show called Spiritual Food, and he don't know how that happened, and he giggled and all of that. So I gotta go back at him, man, because he called me out and ended the show. So I'm preparing Bleedo's correction right now to show him that what he's saying don't make no sense whatsoever, that the blood is literal. It has to be literal. Otherwise, the Messiah himself never walked the earth. So it wouldn't make any sense for his blood to not to be literal and for him to actually walk the earth literally. So if the blood is not literal, then he's not literal, and it's all made up. So, and we have enough evidence outside the New Testament to prove that Christ did walk the earth, and this is literal. I just think he just don't understand why it is literal and why it has to be literal according to Hebraic customs and what was mentioning and happening in the so-called Old Testament. It's prophesied in two different prophets that he would die. That's in the book of Daniel chapter 9 tells you he's going to die, and Isaiah 53 tells you that he's going to die. So clearly it has to be literal based on what is stated there and what Israel did. So I'm going to go into it next Thursday and bring this out and show that Belito is bringing out misinformation and he's actually perverting the gospel. So it's up to me and Brother Gabar with the spiritual food to bring the balance in and to correct his misinformation that he put out there.
All right, family. Once again, it's the open mic, y'all. Anybody can call in. I see we got a lot of people on the phone lines listening, but if you want to chime in, simply press number 1 and we'll add you in the conversation. The number is 319-527-6239. As a matter of fact, the chat room is open too, y'all. The chat room is officially open. All you got to do is go to the website, www.blogtalkradio.com/debate talk for you. Click on the show, and at the very bottom, you're going to see a little box there where you can interact with me or anyone that joins us in the chat room. Now, I'm young. Being that Brito is actually subscribed to the Metaphysics when it comes to the Bible and the Scriptures, have you ever encountered anyone that subscribes to the Metaphysics? And what do you think about that kind of mindset when it comes to the Bible?
That kind of mindset can be definitely detrimental to someone who's trying to get their soul saved, because he's saying things that literally happen did not literally happen. So if these things didn't literally happen and they're symbolic, then there is no real saving of someone's soul taking place here. So you trying to save your soul or obtain salvation is not something that's real, because he's saying that what's written in the Bible is not literal. It's all symbolic of something. So that's a cancer. That's false doctrine. That's something that's going to make someone think that they don't need the Bible. They don't literally need Christ, because according to them, this is not literal. This is metaphor. So look at it as something that's made up. That's folklore. So these people are teaching dangerous doctrine to people out here, and going to cause them to lose their soul if they listen to this misinformation out here.
Now, are you saying that there's no form of metaphysics in the Bible at all, or do you actually think there is some form of metaphysics?
I mean, there
like
is some.
For example, sorry about that. Like for example, he brought up, talking snakes and stuff like that. Break that down. That. Oh, by the way, family, I see y'all calling in. Again, press number 1 if you want to chime in. It's an open mic, y'all. Anybody can chime in. But go ahead, yeah. Go ahead, man.
Oh, I mean, as far as talking snakes, of course, back then, not today, but of course back then, the animals spoke. This is clear once you understand the text. If you have a spiritual mind or concept, you can understand that back then that the animals did speak. So, and if you're looking at it, people seem to try to take things that's going on today and thinking it happened thousands of years ago. That's how it was today. It was the same way back then, which clearly we know that it wasn't, because we see pyramids that was built back then, which meant that they cannot even begin to even duplicate or even try to figure out how these people move these tons of these bricks and align them so perfectly into a pyramid shape that goes not only up in the air but down in the ground as well, like that, and all the different things that's being built with the Sphinx and all that. They can't figure out these things. So we clearly see that back then it was clearly smarter, and there was things going on back in the past. Things was happening, animals speaking back in them that's not going on today because of certain events that actually took place, why these things happen and why animals do not speak today.
All right, once again, the number is 319-527-6239. A lot of people actually lose their faith because of those, when people say those kind of things, as far as what Bleedo would say, but, then again, he puts it in the metaphysic form. So then people will be like, oh, okay, they know what he means. Do you think that's a good method when it comes to explaining, talking snakes, things of that nature, when it comes to the Bible?
I mean, I don't know any kind of belief system or paradigm that have a so-called answer with tangible evidence for every single question. So I mean, certain things that you read in the Bible, it clearly tells you that certain things we go off of faith. It said we walk by faith, not by sight. So there's certain things that we put our faith in that it is true, and certain things we do have evidence for. So we don't have evidence for every single thing at the point where we are, but we put faith in these things that are true because they are spoken of by the prophets, spoken of by the Most High, spoken of the Messiah, his apostles, of these things actually literally happening. So we're actually putting faith in these men that came before us that put their life on the line for these things. So I don't think that these men will actually leave their families and go out and teach something that's false and fake and actually cause themselves to die for something that's not even real. So we put faith in these men because of they're putting their life on the line for these things and to bring these things down to us today. So certain things we roll with faith and certain things we have evidence for. So if someone wants tangible evidence for everything, there isn't tangible evidence for everything, but we know every single month they're finding things in the ground that confirm what the Bible is saying. So we don't have everything to prove everything in the Bible right now, but as time go on, we see clearly more and more is being found and it's being proven more and more what the Bible is saying is correct. So if you want evidence right away, I suggest that you just hold on to faith, and the Most High in Christ will confirm this to you, because as faith, the correct understanding of faith is a divine implanted principle. This comes from the Most High. He put that inside of you by you hearing the word. This was broken down in Spiritual Food. I think it's episode 3 or 4. You broke this down. So people that don't have faith or come into the Bible for a while and then leave, these people are classified into the parable of the sower, where there's some that endure for a while and then leave. So everyone falls into the parable of the sower at some point.
All right. Once again, the number is 319-527-60. Now, if you missed yesterday's show, it was entitled "The Blood of Christ is Not Literal Blood." The blood of Christ is not literal blood. So, hey, a lot of people called in and challenged Brother Bleedo. Actually, let Bleedo know about tonight's show as well, the open mic, so he's aware of what's going on tonight. And if you want to address it, if you're out there, brother, simply press number 1, and we can bring you in the conversation. But Bleedo brought up another example when Jesus was with the apostles, and he said, "This is my body, this is my blood." So he used that as an example, like, they're not eating his body, some cannibalism stuff. And as far as the blood, they're not drinking his literal blood. Like, how do you speak about what he said there? Do you agree with him on that part?
Yeah, I mean that's definitely speaking not literal, but if you understand Hebraic customs, when someone talks about eating their flesh and drinking their blood, they're speaking of consuming their knowledge, their information. That's what he's saying, to eat of me. Eat my flesh and drink my blood is to eat my information. Eat the information that I'm teaching you. Eat that up. That's spiritual food. The Israelites in the wilderness literally ate spiritual food. Manna is angels' food. Angels are spiritual beings, and they ate manna. Manna is not of this earth. It was rained down from heaven where spiritual beings dwell. They literally ate spiritual food. What Christ is equating is that when it comes to him, he's saying, listen, you need to eat the information. I am the bread from heaven. I am the information from heaven that's going to save you. They need Christ. They need that information. So a lot of people don't understand that that's what he was telling them, was to eat his information, his teachings. That's what he meant by eating my flesh and drinking my blood.
All right, stand by, man. We have another call. I believe this is my brother Mercy. I think it is. Mercy, say hello.
Hey, how you doing, Sal Showtime? Hey, how you
well,
doing, man?
It's open mic, man.
Yeah, I just wanted to say.
Did hold on, man, did you hear when Brother Mercy called in yesterday? I think he called in right after you, though.
Yeah, I did. I heard it.
All right, go ahead, Brother Mercy. What we talking about? We're talking about yesterday's show, man. What do you think about what happened yesterday, bro? With the
hey, I wanted to go in on your boy. I wanted to go in on your boy Bleedo, man. I ain't even get a chance to really go all the way in because he just started talking, man. And I was like, man, can you please be quiet so I can get a few words in? Because he was misinterpreting everything I was saying. And I'm just like, I was just trying to make a point about the literal. And even with Amayan, that's Amayan, I'm thinking, he just said about the spiritual food, the manna spoiled. So the manna was literal and physical because it's spoiled. No doubt it came from heaven. I'm not disputing that point, but it also had a physical element to it. And this is what Bleedo don't understand, man. If something could be spiritual and still have a physical element to it. And see, that's what he don't understand, man. And it was really irritating me seeing him butcher the scriptures like that, and I was just sitting there like, I'm really trying to get you to understand that there's a carnal side of the scriptures and then there's a spiritual side. And Paul said in the verse that he read, Paul said, I am carnal. The law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under slavery. He told you this in this chapter that he's not spiritual, that he's carnal. And when he's writing that chapter that brother quoted, he's talking about tangible carnal things. But carnal things and tangible things is not sinful. It's when you have a carnal mind, because the mind is spiritual. You're not supposed to be carnal-minded. But there's nothing wrong with being carnal. Because carnal means you're tangible. That means we can touch you. We can feel you. We can see you. That's what carnal means. It's nothing wrong with being carnal. The manna was carnal, but it also was spiritual because it, like Amayan said, it came down from heaven. However, it was something tangible. Christ, he was something tangible. They put him on the cross. The only way they could put him on the cross if he was something tangible. So that's all Bleedo don't understand. He don't understand the tangible side of the scriptures. And that there's a spiritual side, but there's also a tangible side. And he don't quite understand that. And because he don't, and then when I asked him a question, does Israel exist? I asked, does the nation of Israel exist? He's gonna talk about, well, you gave me this long dissertation. Didn't even answer a simple question. I'm like, Israel existing is a fact, man. All you do is look on the globe. It's a fact. The nation of Israel exists. So that's not something that's in my mind. That's not something I just believe. That's a fact. So once we understand what the facts are, then we can kind of move forward and build a foundation to greater teachings and doctrine. But you can't have a doctrine if you don't have a foundation. And that brother Bleedo don't have a strong foundation. He up in cloud 9, man, and he ain't got no type of foundation, no type of substance to him. He ain't got no substance to him. And I told him, I said, man, don't you go to work and pay taxes? He's like, yeah, I do that. I said, well, then that's substance. That's not mental. That's going on every day. You work every day, pay taxes every day, like the rest of us, man. Why you trying to act like you're more spiritual than the rest of us? You're not. You just like us. You go work like a slave just for that white man, just like the rest of us. So stop pretending. You do just like the rest of us, though. That's the only thing I'm mad about. I hate spiritual brothers act like they don't go through what we go through. We all going through the same thing. We need to come together so we can come out of this mess. Once we start telling each other the truth and understand we all in this together, then we can understand, okay, this system it can have some improvements to it that can make it better for everybody on this phone. That's all I'm trying to be. Yeah, I can quote scripture. I can quote scripture all day and all night, but I still gotta go to work in the morning, and I still gotta pay bills just like the rest of y'all. So I'm no different than y'all. This is what Paul is saying. I'm just like you. I'm not better than you because I got to deal with the same old cracker system that everybody else got to deal with. You know what I'm saying? But we can overcome it because Christ said we could. You know what I'm saying? He said we could overcome. We could overcome the world. We could do that. But we got to tell each other the truth because the truth shall make you free, brother. You got to understand the truth. We didn't understand the truth. The truth is, like Paul said, he says, I'm a slave. Paul called himself a slave. He said, I'm sold as a slave. That's what he said. Paul called himself a slave. So if he called himself a slave, he's telling you I'm not spiritual, man. And when he talks negative about the law, see, what he's trying to help you understand is that just like when you get stopped by the law, when you drive in your car and you get stopped by the law is against you in many ways. Ask Trayvon Martin. The law is against us in some aspects. And this is what Paul is bringing out, man. The law is supposed to be good. See, the police, we pay taxes to the police because they're supposed to protect and serve us. So they're supposed to be doing a good service. But what is really going on, Sal? Are they really protecting and serving us, man? The law is good. That's why you pay tax for the protect and service. Now, if they're not doing that, if they're not doing that, then now the law has become corrupt. It's not that the law is corrupt. It's the people enforcing the law that's corrupt. You see what I'm saying? So this is what Paul is saying. He's not saying the law is negative. He's saying the people who represent the law, this goes back to Bleedo, that symbolism again, but the people who represent the law is not the law. They're the representatives of it, and they're supposed to be enforcing it, but they're supposed to be enforcing good things, not prejudice and discrimination. You see what I'm saying? So that's the only point I was trying to.
Yeah, well, Bleedo is subscribed to the Metaphysics, and I know that's like a small, very small part of the community that's subscribed to that. But as far as the Metaphysics, Mercy, do you feel like there's any form of metaphysics when it comes to the Bible? Does any of it apply, what Bleedo was saying, as far as the metaphysic aspect to the scriptures?
Oh, definitely. No doubt. No, definitely. But what you cannot do, and see, this is what he don't understand. Metaphysics does not deny the reality. See, that's the whole point. He tries to deny the reality. He tried to say Abraham never existed. He's just a story. He's just a fairy tale. See, that's the problem. He tried to get into metaphysics and then deny the reality. See, brother, you get stopped by the cops just like I do, brother. So that cop ain't thinking about no metaphysics when he stopped you, yo. He ain't thinking about none of that stuff you kicking on his phone, okay? And you ain't going to be kicking that stuff when he stop you. Because that's not going to save you.
Right.
Now, knowing that law will save you.
I'm sorry about that.
That's not going to save you.
Yeah, I'm out. Yeah.
You
want to chime in, Amaya?
Yeah, I mean, mental physics, what he's trying to say is only physical in your mind. That's mental physics. It's physical only in your head. It's not in reality, like Brother Mercy is saying. I definitely agree with him. That's where I think Bleedo is missing. He's missing the reality of the mental physics as well. There are certain things that are definitely mental physics, but you can't deny the reality of something that's physical as well. And if you're constantly saying that his blood is not literal, you are denying him. Because then he was calling names about someone that's Antichrist. And 1 John says, who is Antichrist? But he that denied Christ came in the flesh. If you're saying his blood is not literal, you're denying him coming in the flesh. That's what he's actually really doing. He's saying he didn't really come in the flesh, so that's why there's no real blood. It's only literal. I mean, it's not literal, it's symbolic. So he's actually being Antichrist according to the text itself. And I went over his class, and like I said, I'm putting something together for my class, and he is just butchering scripture after scripture. He's not even giving it to you in context in the chapter where he's going. He's just picking out a verse and reading it, but not giving you the overall understanding of what the chapter in context is trying to convey to you when you get to that point that he's pulling. And these are the things that I'm going to bring out to show you that he's not giving you context. He's just trying to give you something that he think is in the Bible by itself, but not giving you the entire script. He's giving you some of it, but he's lacking the other part.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Yeah, hold on. We got somebody else who wants to join in. 563-210, you're live.
Yeah, that's Guido. What's up?
What's going on, Guido? What's up, man? Want to chime in on this one? I know you. Go ahead.
What's the biz? What are we talking about here?
Oh, well, I know you're not going to agree with this one. The blood of Christ.
Oh, you already know I don't get out like that. Yeah. Well, my thing is like it's too many different doctrines, and it's the whole confusion about this thing about Christ you know what I'm saying, to be able to substantiate his existence. Did he actually exist? And if that be the case, did he actually die for our people? Because, see, the whole thing is, my concern is this. If Christ claimed to been died for our sins, why are we still living in the conditions that we living in? You know what I'm saying? The Most High tells you that nobody could die for your sins. You're responsible for your own actions. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, why we in this situation now is because we got two different understandings about the Word of God. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, I mean, it's always going to be like this. Like the Most High said, He's going to set everything straight until the end time. That's all. You know what I'm saying? I don't get down with that Christ blood stuff. No, that ain't me. Straight up.
Anybody want to chime in on that? I don't know if you got to call it 05419, the open mic, 419, you're live.
Peace, brethren. How y'all doing? This is Kwame. Peace to all the brothers on the platform.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up, Al? I definitely want to make sure I let it be known I'm definitely adverse to eating anybody's blood or flesh. But I'm sitting back and I'm listening, and I'll chime in as I hear more adverse, or adversity.
You said your name is Kwame?
Yes, peace.
Kwame like the rapper? Back in the day, old school.
With the
Kwame.
You
can tell my age. I'm saying Kwame the old. Exactly. I'm born in '77. I'm an OG. You know what I'm saying? Saying Kwame the rapper. But
with the polka dots, baby.
Polka dots. Yeah, there we go. Hey, listen, y'all. I think we got Vito in the building. Vito, what's up, bro?
What's up, Sal? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you loud and clear, man. Yeah, man. You want to chime in? Got?
Yeah, cool. I don't know where y'all at in the conversation or what's pretty much going on. Just kind of doing a little mastering on this song that I just finished recording earlier. But what's the topic at hand? What's being discussed?
Pretty much we're talking about the blood of Christ and just chiming in. We have Amayan here. We have Brother Mercy. They called in yesterday's show. They were giving their views on it. We have Weeda here, and so we were just talking about the blood of Christ.
Okay.
Metaphysics, things of that nature. How some people, there's not a lot of people that subscribe to the metaphysics, things of that nature. So you can add your 2 cents if you want. That.
Yeah. Well, yesterday I just was, basically trying to put basically a little groundwork down as far as the metaphysics go or the spirituality go of the Bible. And I already knew that, for the most part, Israelites, they don't understand it. That's why even in the text, the Israelites was the reason why the Messiah was killed, and even in the text. So, I understand that, they want to have a literal Messiah. They want to have a literal kingdom. They're looking for a literal redemption and things of that nature. But the crazy thing about it is, from my understanding and the way I used to view things, especially when I was a Messianic believer, they don't really believe in the New Testament, you know what I mean, to be honest with you. So my whole thing is they might as well just be Torah-only believers because the New Testament clearly is totally different in the teaching as far as the Old Testament when you deal with the concept of the Spirit. And that's the reason why, it's written that it's a veil over the Old Testament. So those people that claim to believe in the Messiah, that veil is still over their eyes until they truly believe in the Spirit and understand the text to be spiritual. Like I remember talking to Mercy yesterday, bring up working a job and things of that nature. We are in the flesh, you know what I'm saying, the same way that the Messiah that you believe in, he was in the flesh. So he also did work a job, but you believe he was God, you know what I mean, or you believe he comes from God. So I'm saying nothing no different than what he would say. When he say, I am one with God, that's the same thing that one who believes in the metaphysics say, or the spirituality say. We say we are one with God. So you guys don't understand that y'all have a Pharisee type of spirit on y'all, and when somebody say that they are one with the Creator, you reject that the same way that they rejected the Messiah that y'all claim to believe in. So that's the hypocrisy of that that whole religious understanding, that whole religious doctrine, man. Like, y'all might as well just say you Torah only believers and don't even claim to believe in the Messiah, because there's no point in believing in the Messiah when you don't believe in the Spirit.
Can I say something, Sal?
Yeah, man. It's open mic. Go ahead.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to read you the definition of metaphysics. I'm going to read you the definition of what this man is espousing on this form. I'm going to go ahead and read the definition. It says, abstract theory with no basis in reality. Which means, brother, you have no basis in reality. So, I mean, that's what the definition is saying. So this is what your doctrine is. It's not real.
Well, if you're gonna use like definitions and things like that, I like to use the word Christ. Yeah, no.
I have to use definitions with you. I gotta use definitions with you. No, that's fine. I have to.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Because the words you use got definitions attached to it.
Define this for me though. This
I don't have to. I can stop right there, brother. I ain't got to go no further. You not real.
I want to make sure that well, you know what I say. Yeah. I more so if you listen to the last few shows that I did on Sal, on Sal Show, we were discussing Christ consciousness. So I like the term Christ consciousness better than metaphysics. I mean, the metaphysics is all really one and the same, but I like the term Christ consciousness better because we are conscious of the Spirit of God, and the Christ consciousness teach that the Spirit of God is within us. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I like to subscribe to. If you want to use like words like that,
So you don't subscribe to metaphysics.
I want to ask y'all a question because yesterday I was asking questions and y'all was asking questions. But okay, so I read a verse in Corinthians. I think it's chapter 2, verse 14. 1 Corinthians 2:14, I believe, off the top of my head. And it says that the spiritual things are the spiritual things, and then it says that the natural man can't receive the things of the spirit because it's foolish to him. What do you guys teach that's spiritual? What is spiritual to you guys? Like what do you guys teach that's spiritual?
Hey brother, who wrote that?
I'm just asking the question, bro.
I know, but who wrote that verse you quoted? All I need to know is who wrote that verse you quoted, brother.
I believe it.
Hold on, Mercy. Hold on, Mercy. Let's let somebody else chime in. Yo, Kwame, you want to chime in on this one? Go ahead, bro.
Well, I will say I'm listening, trying to get a feel of what you all actually discussed. Hate to answer before the whole matter is, made known to me. But I will say that, I want to understand a little bit more as far as when I heard the brother earlier talk about the eating of the flesh and the blood. And I just have a problem with that because when we read Ezekiel, if you want to receive the words of the Almighty or Yah or Yehovah, it's never through eating the blood or the flesh, but he said, eat the whole roll. Speaking of the scriptures, and he actually, as to you all's point, spiritually did what? Eat the roll. Not a body and not blood. So I'm asking, when you see certain civilizations, as in the Native Americans here that might have practiced cannibalism, what separates you from them? Literally eating the blood, literally eating the flesh, and with that actually being suggested within the New Testament, what actually separates you all from those type of individuals? I'm trying to understand because I hear metaphysical, I hear spiritual, and I just need you to kind of explain that to me. Like, what separates you from these heathen nations and these heathen tribes that literally did child sacrifices, which is what you say when you talk about Jesus dying for our sins, and also drinking blood and eating the flesh, which is known to be something that has definitely physical aspects and not spiritual in such tribes that you see in New Zealand, and like I said here, the Native Americans, and also, certain tribes that, you might find in Africa. What explain to me, break that down to me. And
let me say something first, and I'll let y'all get it in. Well, actually, if you read in the book of Ezekiel, it does say you eat and drink blood. If you look at the book of Ezekiel 39 and 17, I believe, and I'll read it for you. Yeah, let's go there so you can explain, because it tells you to eat and get drunk off blood. So that's actually in the Old Testament.
Okay.
So I didn't bring out a lot of stuff yesterday because, like I said, I could have brought out so much more on that topic.
Yeah,
I could have started in Genesis and stayed in the Old Testament and not even went to the New Testament to explain what I was saying. I could have just stayed in the Old, but I like to go into the New because it's easier to explain.
No, I'm straight. I'm right here.
Okay. You can read it if you want to.
I see. Okay.
Oh, we hear you, man. You were saying something?
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. I was talking to my wife.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Anybody else want to chime in? Can I say something?
Go ahead.
First of all, let the brother read the verse. I would love to hear.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Let's try to stay on the point. Okay, so look here. It says, "And thou son of man."
17?
17, and then you can read all the way down to. You can read down to about. We can stop at 19 to 20 if you want. So we don't have to really go too far.
Stop that verse out one more time for brothers who might have missed it.
Ezekiel 39, 17 through 19. And I'll let y'all break it down. Like I said, I'm coming to you as one who don't understand this and not understanding the context. So I could be looking at this wrong. So if I'm looking at it wrong, break it down for me.
Okay, brother, you got it. What verse are we on, verse?
You can start at 17 and then read verse 19, all the way to, go to verse 20.
Okay. I'll go ahead and read that for you, brother. It says, "And thou son of man, thus says Yah Elohim, speak unto every feathered fowl and to every beast of the field. Assemble yourselves and come together, gather yourselves on every side to my sacrifice that I do sacrifice for you, even a great sacrifice upon the mountains of Israel, that ye may eat flesh and drink blood. Ye shall eat the flesh of the mighty and drink the blood of the princes of the earth, of rams, of lambs, and of goats, of bullocks, all of them fatlings of Bashan. And ye shall eat fat till ye be full, and drink blood till ye be drunken, of my sacrifice which I have sacrificed for you. Thus ye shall be filled at my table with horses and chariots, with mighty men, and with all men of war, saith Yah Elohim. And I will set my glory among the heathen, and all the heathen shall see my judgment that I have executed, and my hand that I have laid upon them." Okay, what are you saying that says, brother?
Well, he said you basically eat the flesh until you full, and drink the blood till you get drunk. This is a verse here. This is a verse here where we can see eating flesh and drinking blood. Notice he said
who's eating the flesh and drinking the blood.
The context, well, we know. I don't know how you read the Bible, but we know that the word beast sometimes, and in the most part, is used as men. So he's not. So when he says call the fowl of the air and the beast and things in that nature, we can read it all the way from the top and go all the way down. But this is talking about men. This is also talking about men. This sacrifice of the Creator.
That's not talking about men.
Okay, let me
you got to understand there's different understandings when it comes down to the word. Because, see, the things what we know, these could be referring, because he's telling you right there about rams, lambs, and goats and bullocks. This is what we're talking about, feeding off the flesh. That's not talking about men. That's talking about animals. That's what the animals are saying.
Can I say something real quick, brother?
It says men, though.
I would like to say just one thing about that. Now, the truth is when we look at that scripture, we have to understand that in a historical standpoint, in ancient times, there was a such as where there were sacrifices, and those sacrifices would be left for who? The birds. That's why I talked about come feed ye fowl and ye beasts of the earth. And therefore, that's why when you see in Genesis, what is Abraham doing once he splits the birds? He shoos away all of the scavengers, because that is a practice of sacrifice in certain cultures. So in this case, no, it's not speaking of literal people eating this, but he's, of course, giving reference to sacrifices. And this sacrifice is talking about, of course, when Zion comes. And, of course, when the people shall see this people who are we, which are marred, and they shall bring us back into Zion, and we shall be the sacrifices. But no, it's not talking about, and that we shall also be what? Living in the fat of everything. We shall have the greatness of everything, because all of the things that they're building up now shall be given unto our people in the end. This is what this is speaking of. So when we talk about the sacrifices in this case, and he's talking about the beast and the fowl, he's making reference to ancient practices, not literally telling you to eat the blood or the flesh of anybody. And let me say this. You can actually read, if you go to Leviticus 7, and we don't have to read it. We can read it once you get done with your quote. Once you read Leviticus 7, you'll be able to see in Leviticus 7 that he specifically lets you know, and it's not just Leviticus 7, but he specifically lets you know that the blood is for the what? For the altar. He's speaking of sacrifices in this case. And not only is the blood for the altar, but the fat was also for the altar. We were not to eat the fat or the blood. And in this case, this is completely
what you said,
it's a complete,
Now, with what you're saying, I'm gonna just say let's just say I'm gonna agree with your point as far as it being a sacrifice, right? And let's say it's not telling people per se. Let's just say it's talking about the fowls of the air and the birds and things of that nature, and then beasts to when these men are killed to be eaten by these birds and whatever. What is the blood representation of the blood in that context of what's being spoken of in that verse? Because he's talking about blood, and he's telling them to be drunken off blood and to be filled off of blood. So whether you view it as it being people that's doing this, or whether you view it as it being animals that's doing this, what is the purpose of the blood in this context of what's being spoken of in Ezekiel? That's the point that I like to focus on, because we're talking about blood. We're talking about blood. Right. When you asked about the Messiah saying, "Eat my flesh and drink my blood."
Please let me interject for a second, brother. You quoted Jesus. Now you in Ezekiel and Leviticus. See, this is the kind of stuff, Bleeder, you do. You stay with the quote. Jesus said this, not Ezekiel. Let's deal with what Jesus said, because he's going to tell you what he meant by what he said. This is what I'm talking about, Bleedo. You all the way in Ezekiel talking about what Jesus said. And he's going to tell you what he meant. No, hold on. I'm going to show you.
Let me say, brother, I agree with you. There's no you're not going to be able to find anything parallel to what Jesus said. Right. But hold on. Because the conversation, let's just keep things into context, bro, because I don't want to be all over the place.
You in Ezekiel, brother, talking about Jesus.
Okay, hold on, brother. Like, let's stay on the base, bro. Like, because the one brother, he said that he want to understand something about what Jesus is saying about eating flesh and drinking blood.
He's going to tell you.
Hold on. Of course, I did. If you listen to what I said yesterday, I clearly broke it down. So I clearly said what the blood represented and what the flesh represents. I broke that down. But what I'm trying to establish now, I don't know if this brother is just an Old Testament only brother. So I'm trying to establish what his belief is and ask him, what does this blood in this context symbolize and represent? Because if he could explain to me what this blood symbolizes and what it represents, then maybe I can tie it into the Messiah and show him the symbolism in the blood, brother. This is how you're supposed to teach the Bible, brother.
No, brother. Hold on.
Oh my God.
Hold on, brother. Look. You don't have to be. Because this ain't your show. Tonight ain't your show. So anyway, all I'm trying to say, brother, Jesus said it. So let's go to Jesus to find out what he meant by what he said. That's all I'm saying. Because he's going to tell you what he meant by what he said. I don't need to ask Ezekiel about what Jesus is saying. I don't have to do that. because he's going to tell you what he's saying. He tells you what the body. But he go.
But
hold on.
There's some brothers on here that don't believe in Jesus, bro. So it's
But hold on. I'm not going to lie to people just to make them feel comfortable, okay? First of all, if I said something, you need to come to me about what I said. I don't want you going to Bleedo about what I said. Trust me, I don't want you doing that. I don't want you going to Bleedo about something I said.
Haven't even questioned LeVar, so.
Yeah, but
he's going to misinterpret,
bro. But
you missing the point,
bro. Like what you doing is, listen what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, they saying that the brother said that this is something that's in the future that's going to take place. I don't know whether you believe that or not, but he said that this is a sacrifice that's going to take place. So in the verse that he read, if I said, let's say I said it was men, right? He's saying it doesn't represent men.
But you're talking about Ezekiel,
though. But listen, bro, let me just make the point. I can see that, so I correct myself and say, okay, look, that may be talking about birds and beasts of the field. I can see that. He just read it, right? So I'm asking him, when it says that eat the flesh of the mighty, which we know the mighty is talking about men, and drink the blood of the princes, we know that it's talking about men of the earth. So I'm asking a question based off the text. So if he could explain this to me, if he said it's not literal, because I did hear him say this is not literal, so then when I go into talking about Jesus, talking about eating my flesh and drinking my blood, I can hold the same standard that he just hold, brother. When you having discussion with people about the Bible, when you talk about this book, we all have to have a point of what we stand on. If he believes this to be something that's literal, then I'm asking him, what is the purpose of the blood? To be drinking and to be eaten. That's all I'm asking. Bro.
Let me ask the brother a question, because I don't want to talk to Bleedo. Let me ask the brother a question. Do you believe that the disciples ate Jesus' flesh? Do you believe that? Do you literally believe the disciples ate Jesus' flesh? You believe that?
Oh, this going to go south, bro. This could be so much.
I'm just asking. Do you believe that, brother?
Hold on. Who am I speaking with now?
This is Brother Mercy. I'm asking you a question. Do you believe that when he said eat my flesh and drink my blood, do you really think he meant for them to cut his body up and eat his body and drink his blood? Do you really think that's what he meant? Do you really think that's what he meant?
Now, listen to this. Now, the brother who was just talking had a very good point as far as what he was trying to prove. Me, myself, of course, I believe it could have been spiritual what they meant, right? Okay, but this is the problem. This is why I asked you about people who literally eat the blood and eat the flesh. The Catholic Church literally come from a stock of people like the Druids who literally ate the blood and the flesh. And so today you see that same practice being brought down through Catholicism. So with that,
it's not practice. You want to know why? You want to know why it's not practice? Because didn't nobody eat his flesh, brother? Nobody ate the flesh of Christ.
I'm not contending with you on that. Just think about it. You got to think. See, brother, that's why I said peace, first of all. I'm not contending with you on that. So what I'm saying to you, I understand what the brother is trying to prove, that this is a spiritual peace. I don't believe that he meant literally eat the blood and eat the flesh. But what I'm saying is that people have taken that literal.
But they can't do it.
And the stock of the individuals who wait a minute, let me finish, brother. The stock of the individuals, which are the ancestors of these people who come from this Catholicism or the Church of the Catholics, they literally had priests that ate blood and ate the flesh. These are the same individuals that put these canons together. And what I'm saying
is, let me add to what the brother's saying too. When you finish, I don't want to cut you off, bro. I apologize, but I want to add to what you're saying as well.
Oh no, you're good. That was my whole point, because what's going on is that you have to acknowledge that there are people who take, when it says eat Jesus' blood and his flesh, they take it literal.
But they're not eating his blood.
And the thing is, and this is what I wanted to add, and this is what I wanted to add. Even in that story, when you read the context of it, right? Because people take it literal. So when we read the story from a literal perspective, the Jews is like, how are we gonna eat his flesh? So that would mean that Jesus was literally sitting there talking to people and telling them to eat his flesh and drink his blood. He had to say that to them if this is a literal story. Whether you want to say he broke it down and he broke the parable down or whatever it may be, he told these people that in order for you to have eternal life, you have to eat my flesh and you have to drink my blood. Then in the same context, he said, my flesh is meat indeed. The word indeed means truly, brother. Then he said, my blood is my blood is whatever indeed. I don't have it in front of me. But what I'm saying is, so
I got it in front of me.
In the church, you have people in church today that take what they would call communion, and they would drink grapefruit juice, okay, which is symbolic for the blood. They would take matzo crackers or whatever type of crackers there is, and they would eat crackers to say this is the body. You have a church that does this, so they do take that literal. Because if it was something spiritual, they wouldn't be dealing with no symbol. They wouldn't be dealing with crackers and grapefruit juice, knowing that it's only a symbol for something that's deeper than what was being said on the table. So this is the reason why I'm trying to say, can we see in the Old Testament that there may be something that's spiritually said in the text, and if we can see that there's something spiritually being said in the text, then when we go to the New Testament, maybe the brothers who don't believe in the New Testament or don't deal with the New Testament, maybe they can see, okay, I can kind of see what you're saying. That's all I was trying to do. I was trying to tie the blood with the blood. But you trying to take it somewhere else, brother. I ain't trying to make nobody, like I said yesterday, I'm not trying to make you believe in nothing, man. I'm not here to sell you a belief. There's enough people who sell Christianity on every corner, probably on every street corner and where y'all stay at. There's enough people selling beliefs. What I'm trying to do is get people to see that this Bible is spiritual and that it deals with the consciousness of man, and it deals with us as a spiritual being, as a spiritual people. That's what I'm trying to get people to see. It's way farther than the carnal things that we have been taught. That's all I'm saying.
They're spiritual
so
and in Luke 22:19, in Luke 22:19, brother, in Luke 22:19, please read your Bible, because he goes and explains exactly what he means. He says, and I took bread, gave thanks, and broke it, and gave it to them, saying, this is my body. So he's telling you that the bread represents his body. He goes through the practice. He never told them to cut him up and eat his flesh. He broke some bread, brother. I mean, my goodness. Then he says, this is my body. He tells you the bread is his body. He's using symbolism. Isn't this your little lane right here, Bleedo? Isn't this your lane? This should be your lane right here. You know,
yeah, if you listened to the show yesterday, you would have heard me. You would have heard me say that, brother. So
for anybody to take this what he's saying and think he's talking about his literal body is apostasy, because that's not what he told his disciples.
Okay, so now let me show you what you just. Okay, so now let me show you what you just did and what you just did. Okay, so now you just made his blood a symbol or something, right? You just said his blood is wine. So now when you talk about his death, which we're dealing with the same blood that he's talking about right there, you want to tell people that they got to believe in this literal crucifixion story and that he literally shed blood. Well, when he's telling you right here what his blood represents. But now when you tell me, oh, look, his blood represents the wine,
blood is not
but then when he died, his
blood is not the symbol.
Yes, it is, brother. How you going to say? Oh, my God. See, this is why I can't debate, brother,
not
because
symbol.
You just read it. You just said it, brother. So now you're going to backtrack.
You're not listening. You're not listening. You're not listening to me. Listen to me carefully. Listen to me carefully. The symbol is the bread. The symbol is the bread. The bread is the symbol. I'm reading it. The bread is the symbol, brother. It's not his body, it's the bread. He says, and he took bread. And he took bread. That's the symbol. The bread. And it represents his body. The bread is the symbol, brother. Okay?
He said you got to drink my blood.
This is why we got a difference of opinion. Because
hold on. So the bread is the body. Hold on, brother, real quick, because I want him to finish, bro. He told them that they had to eat his flesh and drink his blood. So now you're giving me one symbol. You saying that the bread is the symbol for the body. Now what's the blood? Because if he told them to drink his blood, and he's saying that it's not literal. Well, now what's the symbol for blood, brother?
Let's deal with one at a time. The bread is the symbol. The bread is the symbol, not the body. The bread is the symbol. Okay. The bread represents his body. Now, again, the wine is the symbol. It represents the blood. So therefore,
cool.
the blood is not the symbol. See, this is where you're messing up in your metaphysics. You're calling symbols things that are not symbols. The bread is the symbol.
So the blood
and the wine is the symbol. Not the blood and his body. His body is not a symbol. That's something. Let me finish. Don't cut me off, brother. Don't cut me off. Don't cut me off, man.
You got a Vader spirit on you, brother. We trying
hold on.
Have a discussion.
Don't try to blast me because I'm giving you the truth. You hate the truth. You hate the truth. I'm giving this truth. You hate it. You hate it because you won't let me finish. You won't let me finish, man. The bread is the symbol, brother. See, what Bleed don't understand, I do this for a living. But let me finish. Man. I do this for a living. I know what symbols are. I'm a teacher. I use symbols every day. A symbol is the bread, okay? He's using the bread to make a larger point. Let me finish, brother. Let me finish. He's using the symbol, or what we teachers call manipulatives. We use things to make larger points. The bread is just a symbol. And then the wine is a symbol. The bread represents his body. The wine is the symbol for his blood. See, what you're doing, you're calling, let me finish, you're calling the body the symbol. And that's where you're messing up at. The body is not the symbol. The body is the literal. Let me finish. The body is the literal. The body is the literal. The blood is the literal. But what is the symbol of those things? The bread and the wine. And this is what he's telling them to eat. He's telling them to eat the bread and drink his wine. He says it, if I just read it for you, he took the bread, gave thanks, and broke it, and gave it to them, saying, this is my body. Give it to you. Do this in remembrance of me. Let me finish. Verse 20. Let me get out, brother. Let me get out. Let me get out, brother. Let me get out. I'm about to close your lives. I'm about to close your lives.
You got to share the mic.
I got one more verse for him. I got one more verse. He asked about the blood. So I'm going to read that verse too. Then the next verse, it said, in the same way, after the supper, he took the cup, saying, this cup is the new covenant in my blood. So he's taking the cup of wine, and he said, this is my blood. So it's obvious that the wine is the symbol, and it represents his blood. He's not telling them to drink his blood. He's telling them to drink the wine, and that's a symbol for his blood. So that's my point, brother. Real simple.
All right. Okay, I'll let somebody else go, and then I'll go after that. If somebody else want to add something, yeah, go. Because I know we ain't said nothing. So go ahead, brother.
The thing is, what we talk about in the Old Testament, like you said, as far as everything is like what we deal with is literal, right? Because the thing is, what the Most High, he prophesied what things is to come about, and he gives you instruction what it is to do in order for you to be redeemed from your sins. But what you talking about with blood right now, I want to read what it says, what you tell us not to do with the blood. Leviticus 17 and verse 11, and I'm going to start at verse 10, where it says, and whatsoever man there of the house of Israel or of the strangers that sojourn among you that eateth any manner of blood, I will even set my face against that soul that eateth blood and will cut him off from among his people. For the life of the blood is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that maketh an atonement for your soul. So the thing is, when you talking about Ezekiel 39, and he tells you, I want to go to where you was talking about, because he said, let me go back to what you was reading at, because he was talking about the blood up in Ezekiel 39 and 17. Let me go down. Let me see.
And I like that verse that you read in Leviticus, because I was gonna bring that one out yesterday. For the life of the flesh is in the blood. You know what I'm saying? Because in the New Testament he say that that he who drink my blood and eat my flesh have eternal life. So we see that blood is a symbol for life. So that's another thing that we can look at in the Old Testament, and we can see that. Now, whether you take it literal or not, I'm not here to debate those points. But I just want to point out something, and that's the reason why I was asking about the blood. Like, what is it a symbol for? Because I know even in the Old Testament that you guys, that believe just in the Old Testament only, can see just some of the things have symbols as well.
Well, let me say this, because Ezekiel 39 and 17, let me read down this prophecy right here. He said, "Thou son of man, thus saith the Most High God, speak unto every feathered fowl, and to every beast of the field, assemble yourselves and come, gather yourselves together to yourself on every side to my sacrifice that I do sacrifice for you." And it's talking about for us to all to come together for this great sacrifice upon the mountains of Israel, that ye may eat flesh and drink blood. And this is what you talking about all the animals, what he talking about was going to be sacrificed. Ye shall eat the flesh of the mighty and drink the blood of the prince of the earth, of rams, of lambs, and of goats, and of bullocks. This talking about war right here. This is what this is talking about, war. This is talking about killing.
Symbol. Exactly.
Yeah.
Symbol.
Yeah, it said, all of them fattening of Bashan, and ye shall eat fat till ye be full, and drink blood till ye be drunken of my sacrifice which I have sacrificed for you. Thus ye shall be filled at my table with horses and chariots. This talking about Israel going out to war against the nation. This is why he said, gather yourself together. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And all that's common sense, brother. All that's common sense.
So in that context, like I don't mercy. We not trying to it's an open mic, bro. We just dialoguing, bro. It don't have to be a debate, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we could just have a discussion and people can make points, bro. And whether you agree with their point or not, it's cool. This is an open mic discussion, bro. Not a mercy versus the whole panel. So
don't be trying to put me down. Then that's all I'm saying.
I didn't.
Because you said a few negative words towards me. That's all I'm saying.
I ain't said nothing. I really ain't said too much to you yet, brother. I mean, I know I came out with my opening statement, but I haven't directed anything at you. But what I want to say to what you saying too about it being war, you can go back up to just the very first verse. You know what I'm saying, and read the second verse, and it talks about about it being war in the sense of the army and things of that nature. So I understand what you're saying, but what would you say? What would you say the purpose of drinking blood and eating flesh is, though? Like, even if you see it representing war, we can still see, because let's say, for example, the fowls and the beasts come together, and let's say the people, because we can see we got the princes, and it talks about and all the men on the face of the earth. Because, matter of fact, if you go to, let me make sure I'm in the right chapter. We was, 39 or 38?
We was in 39.
Okay, let me get there. I'm in the wrong chapter. Okay, so look, so when it say you shall eat the flesh of the mighty and drink the blood of the princes of the earth, of rams, of lambs, and of goats, and of bullocks, all them fatlings of Bashan, right? Or Bashan, however you say that. Okay. What is the purpose? What do you? Because we can see in Leviticus, what you read in Leviticus, it say that the life is in the blood, or the blood is in the life, however it read. So this here is telling you to drink, telling the animals or the beasts, or however we view this, to drink the blood of the men and the princes of the earth. So what would be the purpose of that, though? Like, do you think you could?
Well, this talking about shedding blood. That's what that's referring to about killing. This is about going to war. This is what you talking about Israel coming against against all the heathens. This is what it's talking about, drinking the blood. This means he talking about the blood up on my sword, about the killing. This ain't talking like literal, like drink the blood. It's telling you it's going to be like a massacre killing. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, I can see that point.
And if I can add to that, and so what you see is that blood is actually a sacrifice for our people.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it's
this whole chapter,
what happened with
when you read
Egypt. Sorry about that, brother.
No, you got it, man. I was just about to say, because if you read the previous, chapters, you're talking about Gog and Magog. And what we talking about? Yep. We talk about Gog and Magog. We talking about the valley of dead bodies, right?
Yep.
All of these things shall happen when? In the end.
Mm-hmm.
When we are in the land. And so all it's bringing out is the fact that all these people, all the blood, everything we see going on in the world right now, all the blood that's being shed is due to his people. All the war that's going on.
So what I'm saying is, so So let me ask you a question. Okay, so based off of that understanding, and it's good that you brought up the let's say the value of dry bones or whatever, you know what I'm saying, in the sense where you like, can these bones be made, you know, I'm just paraphrasing, I don't have nothing in front of me, but I think you know where I'm going with it. So we seen that the flesh came back and the things of that nature, and they came back to life. We can see, even in the Old Testament, we can see that we have symbolism, or we have metaphysics or spiritual conversations being taking place even in there, because we know that literal bones that's dead don't come back to life. You know what I mean?
No,
but even in that text,
that's not true. Let me stop you right there.
Okay.
That's not true. When you read the scriptures, let's go. I'm gonna go to Job real quick for you, so I can show you this.
Okay.
And then
go to that valley.
Just to let y'all know, fellas, in the next like 10 minutes, I kind of want to switch gears to the Amber Guyger case. I know it's like going way left, right?
Amber Guyger case. I mean, I think that's relevant. That's relevant. But saying that, let me just make it real quick. Whenever you read, you know, you can read Job, you can read Isaiah, you can read all of the prophets, you can read Hosea, and they all speak of literally, of course, the children of Israel being brought back up. In fact, Isaiah, he himself I say that with my dead body shall I see the Almighty Yah. When you read Hosea, it also speaks about it the third day when our people shall be brought back up. This is not something that is spiritual.
So you take that. So okay, I got you. So you believe in
let me tell you let me just tell you why it's literal. Let me give you why it's literal. When you read such, you know, descriptions of our people, even when the Romans came in, if you read Tacitus in his account when he talks about the people, our people believed it seriously. When you read Maccabees and this woman who lost her children, and you read what they say as far as how their arms shall be brought back to them, they meant that literally. When you read Job and he talks about the worm eating him, and even though the worm eating that he should still see the Almighty in his flesh, those things are literal. And when we see Henrietta Lacks, and we see that her, of course, Jean, and she was able to live forever, and they are still in existence to the day, that's literal. This is not anything that's spiritual or symbolic. These people just have given this to us so that we don't live in the spirit of Yah anymore, and we don't fall into, you know, understanding that martyrdom is actually a good thing, especially when it's in the name of Yah.
Okay, so now the reason why I have a problem with the way you breaking that down is because if we go to the book of Genesis and you deal with Adam, he said, in the day that you eat the fruit, you shall die. Okay? The serpent told Adam, in the day you eat the fruit, your eyes will be open and you will become as gods to know good and evil. The moment the Adam and Eve or whatever ate that fruit, their eyes instantly opened. They instantly knew good and evil, because as you can see, it says man has become as one of us to know good and evil. But they didn't instantly die. So did the Creator, when the Creator said you're going to surely die when you eat of that fruit, in the day you eat of it, they didn't surely die. So either a death had to take place in that garden where there was a death that took place, or the Creator lied about death, or we don't have an understanding. Maybe you have an understanding of what death is.
What death? I mean, the serpent said
the day that you eat of it. It said the day that you eat of it. The serpent said the same exact thing that the Creator said.
No, he didn't.
The only difference.
No, he didn't.
The only difference is.
Let me quote you. Can I quote you what the serpent said?
No, brother.
It wasn't the same thing.
Can I fit? I'm gonna clarify myself, bro. I don't need you to clarify me, bro. So what the serpent said, what the Creator said was that you shall surely die in the day you eat of it, and what the serpent said is you shall not surely die, right? But exactly. He said the day you eat of it. But the phrase that I'm pointing to is the day that you eat of it, right? So the moment they ate of it, that day that they ate of it, their eyes instantly opened, is what I'm saying, and they instantly knew good. But no, that's not the point, because now you're gonna spiritualize it. Because now you finish spirit. Listen what I'm saying. So now you're gonna go. That's gonna mess you up, brother, because now you finna spiritual. But listen, what I'm saying. Now you finna spiritualize it, bro. They.
No, I'm not. No.
Whoa.
Let me say what I'm. I'm not spiritualizing because what it's saying in
Okay.
Ecclesiastes is say because judgment is not executed speedily. It's set in the hearts of man to continue. So when we see it,
8 and 11.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that. So we got to make sure we understand when he says in that day, we got to understand that he has a whole different concept of what a day is.
A day is like 1,000 years.
Exactly.
A day is like 1,000 years.
So what I'm saying, but here's my point though. Here's my point of what I'm saying, bro. Because you saying that literal bones is going to come back out of the grave. You saying that that's literal.
They will.
So what I'm saying is they literal eyes opened up the day they ate of the fruit. They literally knew good and evil the moment they ate of the fruit. But then when it comes to death, now you want to say that that they die, but they lived 900 something years. They
lived to 1,000. But they lived to 1,000.
But listen what I'm saying. So now you're spiritualizing it now because now you go.
No, I'm not spiritualizing.
Because listen what I'm saying. Man day and God day is something totally different. Okay, so what I'm saying is, if we talking literal, and God told them in the day you eat of this fruit, you're gonna die. He's talking to them on their time. The same way the serpent said, if I give you this fruit, he's talking to them in their time. Your eyes are gonna be open.
Does that make sense? Do you realize what you're saying? Do you realize what you're saying?
I know the story. My understanding of the story is an allegory anyway. What I'm trying to point out is, when you say something, all I'm trying to do is point out is when you say something is literal, we have to go back to the first text that deals with death. Okay, the moment you say 1,000 years, you're spiritualizing it right there.
No,
I'm trying to get you to see that.
There's a verse in the text that says that.
That's right.
How you not spiritualizing?
There's a verse that says that.
Adam died at 960 years old, right? And he died in Genesis 5. He said Adam died at the age of 960 or 930.
It wasn't 1,000. It wasn't 1,000.
But what I'm saying, y'all missing the point. Okay, so did it take 1,000 years for the eyes to open up?
No, I'm just asking a question because you talking about death, and you said that the day that he bit of the apple that he was gonna die. So you saying that he was gonna die right then and there at that time, soon as he did that?
He said.
Okay.
That's what he said. So listen what I'm saying. Adam didn't know nothing about 1,000. Well, I can't say that because it's not written in the text, so I'm not gonna.
I know you can. I know you can.
Right, but I'm not gonna add nothing that's not there. But what I'm gonna say, what I will say is this though. What I will say is this though. What I will say is this: the serpent told them the day you eat of the fruit. Okay.
We did not add anything either, brother. We wanted to make sure,
brother.
just like the brother. Wait a minute, just like what the brother said.
The serpent didn't lie.
So, hold on, brother. Wait a minute. In math, you got units. Okay, a unit of a day for us, all right, is different from a unit of a day to the Almighty. There's nothing spiritual about that, and that unit is broken down within the scriptures as being 1,000 years.
So the serpent didn't lie to them, brother. That's all. The serpent didn't lie to them. The serpent didn't lie to them because the serpent didn't lie because he said, "You shall not surely die," and you telling me that they didn't die till 969 years later. So they didn't surely die. They didn't die at the moment that they ate of that fruit. The serpent told them that when you eat of this fruit, your eyes shall be open. Guess what? They ate the fruit and their eyes was open instantly. They didn't have to wait 969 years for their eyes to be open. He told them that they would know good and evil when they eat the tree. They didn't have to wait 969 years to know what good and evil is. They instantly knew what good and evil is. This is what I'm saying. If we taking this story literal, the serpent did not lie to them. God lied to them.
So listen what you just said. Did y'all hear what you just said? Did y'all just hear what he said?
You taking that story literal, bro? What I'm saying is I can break it down metaphysically. I'm taking it literal for exactly what it says.
Can we stop you for a minute, Bleedo? Bleedo, can we stop you for a minute? Please, Bleedo, just stop for a minute. Think about what you're saying, Bleedo. You said God told a lie. Think about what you just said. You said God told a lie. That's what you just said. You just said that.
Yeah, that's what y'all saying.
No, that's what you said. I never said that, brother. That's what you said. You said God told a lie.
Listen what I'm saying.
And now
you said,
let me finish. Let me finish. No. See, you love to move around. I'm going to stick you to what you're saying. You said God told a lie, then you told another lie and said I said it. I never said that, brother. I never said that God. I don't believe God tells lies. I don't believe that. You believe that. That's what you said. You said God told a lie.
You didn't
That's
say
what
it word
said.
for word, but the way you explaining it, bro, you saying it, bro.
No. Hold.
If I'm reading this book word for word, bro, it's no way around this, bro. You cannot get around this, bro.
I know.
If you telling me that this story is literal, bro, listen to what I'm saying. I'm listening to you.
Hold on,
if you telling me this story is literal,
hold on.
You don't want to listen to what I'm saying, bro.
Just stop the literal.
Listen.
Stop the literal. No, you need to listen because you called God a liar. So you need to listen. You need to listen.
No.
You need to listen.
You said
you
that
need to listen.
1,000 days. Listen, you said
hold on. Why are you trying to change the argument?
You can't read that in Genesis, bro.
You accuse God for being a liar. You accuse God of being a liar,
you don't even understand what you're saying.
I don't care what you have to say. If you call God a liar, it don't matter what you have to say.
I'm the other voice in your head, bro. That's trying to show you.
Oh, you not in my head, brother. You not in my head. You not in my head. Trust me.
Let me make this last point, and then
what that got to do with? Wait a minute, but what does that have to do?
Let me make this last point, bro. Let me make this.
You ain't got no point because you call God a liar, so you ain't got no point.
Listen. I said according to the story.
That's a misunderstanding what you have, bro.
Hold on. Listen. And I stand on anything I say, bro, and everything is recorded, so I have no problem with what I said, and I know exactly what I said. This is the point that I'm making, though. This story is literal, is what you guys telling me, because y'all say this book is literal, right? And this death is literal, because that's what you believe. That's what you said you believe in. So what I did was I went to the story of the Garden of Eden. I'm reading it word for word. I'm not adding nothing to it. I'm not taking nothing away from it, okay? God told them in that story, the day they eat of that fruit, they're going to die. The serpent told them, the day they eat of you shall not surely die, but the day that you eat of the fruit, your eyes shall be open, and you shall be as God. Me reading the story literally, soon as they ate of the fruit, they seen it and made them wise, okay? Their eyes was open. So what the serpent told them on the literal surface, with nobody saying a day is 1,000 years, because none of that is in this story. You got to go outside of this story and try to add something to it to make it spiritual, as I stated. But on the literal surface, their eyes was open. They sold fig trees. They hide themselves. They knew they was naked. God came to them and said, who told you you was naked? Okay, so now God knows that they ate of that tree that he told them not to eat from. He did not kill them. They did not die in the moment he found out that they ate of that fruit. But the moment that they ate of that fruit, everything that was said happened.
Hold on, brother. All right. So let's slow down a little bit. Let me just ask you, why would they have to die in that moment?
Because that's what he said.
That's not what he said. They shall surely.
That's not what he said, Bleedo.
1 minute, hold on, bro.
What did he say?
Hold up, Sam.
Is Adam and Eve alive today? Is Adam and Eve alive today?
Listen to what I'm missing. I'm missing.
No, brother.
Yes or no?
Look, brother.
Adam
I promise
and Eve
you.
No.
Let me say this.
No.
Let me say this.
I'm asking your question. No.
Okay, I'm very rational.
Listen
to what I'm saying. Okay. So no, they're not alive today. So what I'm going to bring to your attention is that we were to live forever, man.
Okay, what can we read that at? What can we?
Isaiah 25:8.
No, I'm talking about the same way people. Hold on, brother. Look. Okay, go ahead.
You was calm at first, and you spoke for a long time. I mean, I can't stay on the phone all night. I gotta leave. I would like to say something concerning that, man.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead. Go ahead, my bad.
Okay. So my thing is that no, they died, man. No, they did die. Adam and Eve.
Okay.
They died, and so what you have to, I think, what you have a misunderstanding of what the earth was created for. The earth was created to be inhabited forever. There's no such thing as nuclear war and all of these things that everybody's talking about, and the earth just being destroyed. That's white man's theory. This earth is made to be inhabited forever, and that's why he calls it his world without end. That's what he called Israel, his world without end.
Right,
That's literally, brother. And so when we understand that, we were to live forever, but it was because of what? Our sin. That's the whole. That's our sin is what has stopped us from being able to live forever. What is sin? Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me say this. What is sin?
Okay.
Sin is the transgression of the law. That was a law that the Almighty and a command that the Almighty gave Adam and Eve. That's why they were not able to do what? Live forever. And so, no, we don't see Adam and Eve today because they did die. And I can understand
so you contradicting yourself. You contradicting yourself again, bro. You contradicting yourself again because in the book of Deuteronomy,
if I'm contradicting myself, then I'll let you explain it.
I'm gonna show you.
But let me make sure it's clear.
I'm gonna just tell you why I'm saying that. In the book of Deuteronomy, he gave them the law, and he said, I put on the table life and death. He said, choose life and live. So everybody who kept the commandment, and we can read people who was blameless, who kept the commandments and kept the law, they still died, brother. They still died, even though they kept the Torah. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, now let me say that. Okay, so if you can rebuttal me while I'm speaking, but if you can make it concise, where I don't have to listen to a whole dissertation, that'd be cool. But I understand what you're saying. No, what happens is, no, brothers, those brothers did sin. See, when you read Job was a what? Hold on, brother. Wait a minute. Okay. Job was a perfect man, right? Was he a perfect man or not?
That's what the text says.
I mean, you can read Ezekiel 14.
It said he was a just man. Yeah. No.
Okay, even though Noah, Daniel, and Job was in it, okay, they should save only themselves because they were perfect men. Well, what you have to read when you read Noah, when you read about Daniel, when you read about Job, Job makes it clear that he sinned in his what? In his youth. You still got to die for that, man. Every little thing. When you read Ecclesiastes 12, hold on, brother. And I'm giving you scriptures. Okay. Read Ecclesiastes 12 and 12. It lets you know that every little thing shall be brought into judgment. The only thing that's going to be held up on high is the Almighty. He even going to cut the mountains down low. So, no, there is no man that's going to live forever. And it's because all men have sinned. But that does not make the man not perfect. What makes a man perfect is when he does what? When he forsakes that thought. And when he forsakes his way. And choose to keep the Almighty Yahweh.
So when they say choose life and live, right? That's just temporarily life? Is that temporarily or is that?
It's
okay,
only
so what
temporarily.
makes?
It's only hold on. It's only temporary because It's only that because of the simple fact that we find ourselves going against the law.
Okay, so what I'm saying,
let me give you an example. For an example, when you read David, he talks about what? Being born in what? In iniquity. See, we got laws for even what? Secret sins that we ain't even conscious of. But when you find yourself conscious of those sins, then what you need to do? You got to make some type of amends for it.
Well, see, that's the.
Yeah, I ain't gonna go all night on that point, man. If Sal, you want to switch the whole, the direction of the conversation.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to get to this Amber Guyger case, man. You know what I mean? We need to talk about that one.
What about it?
Yeah, I want to get y'all opinions on it. Everybody's talking about the hug on social media from the brother of the deceased. You know what I mean? For those who don't know, police officer Amber Guyger actually shot Batham Jean, I think his name. Batham Jean. I think I'm pronouncing it right.
Yeah, Batham Jean, and then they killed Joshua Brown. You talking about?
Right. There we go. Yeah. So what do y'all think about that? Everybody's calling the brother a coon and all that, hugging him.
But that's what our people do, though. But that's what our people do. Yeah. We hug the cops that kill our people. That's what we do. We do that type of stuff.
But see,
we do that kind of stuff.
But do you think
we pay the police officers?
That was already prophesied. That was already told that we was gonna have an evil eye toward one another. That was already spoken.
Yeah, don't we pay the police officers to shoot us?
I don't
know. We go to work.
I don't know about that one, brother. Not the shooters.
But that's what they do.
Hey, look, but that's why I always tell them when you look up the history and it tells you about the police officer, what they was, they was called them slave patrol, 1706.
That's right.
Well, when they dealt with them cats like that. And that was the whole thing to keep us up on the plantation when we left.
That's right.
They was the one that brought us back and punished us this and that.
That's right.
So the thing is, when you look at these cats with these badges on, and you talking about their whole statement is to serve and to protect. Nah, they don't serve the black people, not at all. We still them cats like what we was back then. We were slaves back then, and we still slaves now. See, that's the whole thing what people keep on not realizing. And when you trust in the white man, just like what happened with that sister up in New York, this lady was a grandmother, and the police had a search warrant for another address and came into the wrong apartment and shot a 7-year-old baby while she was asleep. And they still found the officer not guilty. You see what I'm saying? So the whole thing is when you start seeing all these things will happen to our black people and you constantly putting your trust into the white man's system, you ain't doing nothing but fooling yourself. And this is why we keep on being destroyed, because we keep on being deceived. That's why the Most High tell you again, he said, thus saith the Most High, cursed be the man that maketh men their flesh and depart from the Most High. If you going to trust in the white man's system, you going to fall every time. He told you that in Psalms 118 how he going to kill men. The evil shall slay the wicked in Psalms 34 and 21. You going against the law is going against the Most High's word. And this is why every time you was fooled into thinking that the white man is your friend, that he was supposed to help and talk about we all as one, and we one people, and they want to use the garbage talking about, oh, we all come from Adam and Eve. But then when Adam and Eve fell, it was Abraham and Sarah saying you was going to be the father and mother of all nations. And see, this is where we keep on having a different understanding why we don't see eye to eye. I study what the white man do. You know what I'm saying? Don't you know your birth certificate is still like you being sold on auction blocks back in the 1800s. They tell I got information to tell you that they use your birth certificate right now and put it on the stock market. You still getting your information transferred around from different countries, and you still being sold, not physically as being on an auction block, but being sold by using your information.
Now, brother, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was gonna say that.
Nah, good.
Whether we want to agree with it or not, brother, I love everything you just said. But whether we want to agree with it or not, our tax dollars pay these police officers. So when these police officers shoot us in the street, we kind of paid for it to some degree. To some degree, right? Would you agree with that?
I don't ask them to shoot me. I don't tell them to come kill me.
You know what? I understand what you're saying too, brother. The truth is that we're trusting in. So we see that they're out here killing us, and we trust in them to protect us. And what that is nothing but a curse that the Almighty put on us in Deuteronomy 28. I'm not talking spiritually. I'm talking literally, where we would have to go to this man in all hunger and thirst and in nakedness. And so we don't have a standing army. You know, we don't have brothers out here, you know, in the community that's policing. And let me give you this. This is Jeremiah 2:11. The reason behind this is because of what this scripture say here. It says, has a nation changed their deities, which are not yet deities, but my people have changed their glory for that which does not profit them. So everything that we're doing is against the Almighty Yah. None of it will profit us because it's against the Almighty Yah. We choose not to go to the true and living waters, but we choose to go to this white man for everything that we need. And the Almighty said that this is a great thing to the point where, look at verse 12. It says, be astonished, O ye heavens, at this, and be horribly afraid. Be ye very desolate, said Yah. So he actually is saying to the heavens, to the earth, because it's going to be out of whack. Everything is going to be what? Turned upside down because we choose not to go back to our true Elohim. And then if you go down to 2 and 13 and say, for my people have committed 2 evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns broken systems that can hold no water. And what happens when we start looking unto the deities that can't help us? Look at verse 14. Is Israel a servant, a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? What a simple fact. We think we homeborn slaves. This is not our home. Only thing we know about right now is America. Only the history that we know about is the history that we have here in America, as if this is our home, as if we were born here. No, we don't. This is the misconception. This is why we keep going back to these people, and this is why we see the atrocities happening to us.
Now, I showed Ezekiel 11. This way it goes. Yeah. Now I'm gonna start at. Let me go at verse 2. It says, "Then say ye unto me, Son of man, these are the men that devise mischief and give wicked counsel in the city, which say it is not near. Let us build houses. This city is a cauldron. We be the flesh. Therefore prophesy against them. Prophesy, O Son of man. And the Spirit of the Most High fell upon me and said unto me, Speak thus saith the Most High, thus have ye said, O house of Israel, for I know the things that come into your minds, every one of them. Ye have multiplied your slain in this city, and ye have filled the streets thereof with the slain. Therefore thus saith the Most High God." This is what being prophesied and told, that we was going to be killed in the street. Solano Castillo, Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin, and so forth. And then when you read Zechariah 11, right here, that's one he said when they said they hold themselves not guilty. How many police done got away with killing our people and still have their jobs and be able to take care of their family? This Zechariah 11, where he says, "Open thy doors, Lebanon, that the fire may be devoured by the cedar. How fir trees, for the cedar is fallen, because all the mighty are spoiled. How, O ye oak of Bashan, for the forest of the vengeance is come down. There is a voice of the howling of the shepherds, for their glory is spoiled. A voice of the roaring of the young lions, for the pride of the Jordan is spoiled. Thus saith the Most High my God, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, as the Most High, for I am rich and theirs own shepherds, pity them not." So the same time, every time our people done got killed and they don't went before their judicial white system, the system done found these police officers not guilty for killing us and saying that they fear for their life. This is real, man.
And brother, to add on to what you're saying, it's not just that, brother. This police officer got a hug for shooting one of us, brother. And then, I mean, you really got to see this. I mean, you really got to visualize this thing. She got a hug. I mean, come on, man. I mean, a hug, though?
That's
really
Christianity, man. That's Christianity.
I got it. I wanted to let y'all talk because I got a whole different perspective than y'all got on that. So I'm gonna let y'all.
Hold on. Let's get Vito perspective. Hold on. Let's get his perspective, man. Yeah, open mic.
Yeah, I got a different perspective on it. What I will say is this, man, because you know while I stay in Chicago, I see a lot of black on black crime, and I mean it's at an all-time high where I'm at. Well, there's so many killers out here that get away with killing black people to the point it's ridiculous. So for that cop to get 10 years versus people that can kill 17-year-olds, 9-year-olds. It was a girl in Chicago that just got hit with a straight bullet a day before her birthday, and nobody found this killer. That's something totally different. So for this cop to get 10 years, I think that was a victory in the sense. Because a lot of cops that kill,
man, you're talking about a police killing our people getting away with it.
I said in the sense. Let me just finish. That's why I ain't say nothing. I'm quiet because I figured I would get a couple minutes to say so I can speak my piece. Okay. So I know y'all not going to agree. Yeah, I know y'all probably not.
Because you're not talking about the case. You talking about black on black crime. You're not talking about the case. This is what you always do, man. You always talk about something else.
You get to it, Mercy. He's coming to it. Stand by. Let's get into it.
The point I'm making, if you listen to what I'm saying, see, I think you don't listen to what I'm saying, bro. I said that a lot of people get away with killing black people. I said it's black people that's getting away with it. Then I said for her to get 10 years. So I'm comparing something with something, bro, and that's how if you listen to the verses they just read, it didn't say nothing about the case. They were talking about Lebanon and all other type of stuff, and you wasn't cutting them off saying that verse ain't got nothing to do with what's going on. So don't cut me off because I'm using the analogy to make my point when you let them read scriptures that has nothing to do with what the case is talking about. So my point in what I was saying was, now if the family forgave as Christ tells you to forgive, as you say you will believe in Christ, you can't bring the dead back. Once a person dies, that person is dead. So no matter how much anger you have in your heart and no matter how much anger you feel towards that person, you're not going to bring that person back who died. So if that family feels like they want to forgive the individual who killed that person, and if they have that in their heart to forgive them, that is a form of godliness in a sense. Whether you want to call it Christianity or whatever you want to call it, bro. Because let me just finish. Because I know
I'm Southside.
You gotta let them grieve the way they grieve, man.
Hold on. Let Vito finish. Let him finish.
Just let me finish. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, okay, I'm not saying somebody right and somebody wrong in how they think. All I'm saying is she got 10 years. And if you study the law, as much as you guys talk about how important the law is, we got to follow the law. We got to know Torah. And you don't study the law of this land and don't even understand the law of this land. Don't understand what a person being tried with, the penal codes and all of that stuff. I don't hear none of these Israelite brothers who saying we this and we that can even come and tell you how to even fight the justice system or how to even understand the laws of the justice system and things of that nature. They just cry about it. So and then they say things like God cursed us and things like that as if God doesn't give you wisdom. So all you have to do if you want to study these things and arm your children, your future, with knowledge and how to deal with the police system and the judge and all that, then you're supposed to be teaching them. That's of God right there to teach them the law. Whether you feel like you're going to be held justly or not.
Not a man, my dude.
All laws is of man, bro. If you tell me not to kill, bro, you just a man not to kill, bro.
We're talking about, I'm from Chicago. I'm from the South Side. So I know what goes up in Chicago. So I'm telling you right now, when it comes down, okay, you said that the Bible don't got nothing to do with that. Now, Deuteronomy 28:54 says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother and toward the wife of his bosom and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Now, don't we all, I'm from Chicago just like you say. Now, don't you hear niggas say, hey, dude, what's up with you? When you say what's up, they say, what you mean by what's up? You got to either say, hey, I'm just saying what's up, homie, because if you say what's up in another frame of mind, brothers going to take it personal to the point they going to lit up they going to pull that banger. You see what I'm saying? So I know what the business is. So the whole thing what you talking about, teach them the system. Come on, man, that system ain't nowhere from us. Every time we turn around, our brothers, our brothers go to jail.
Bro. I think
that ain't no excuse.
That is an excuse for being lazy, bro.
A white dude got 6 months for raping a girl. A white boy got 6 months for raping a girl. So compared to a black man getting 75 years for kidnapping a white woman and raping her.
I can tell you why. I can tell you why. And the crazy thing about it is you study law and you claim to know Torah and follow God, but you don't understand law. Now, when you claim to be a black man, you want to pull up Black Law's dictionary and start going into some of these things. First of all, blacks is not even looked at as citizens. So when you claim the title of being a black man, you're not even. Let's pull it up, bro. You can't tell me because I do study law.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, I'm about to say. All I'm saying is,
I'm agreeing with you. If we're not citizens, then why would we abide? If the law is not for us, then right? It's not built for us. Right?
No,
it's not made.
It's not. You can't.
He want to say we're not citizens, but we got to obey the law too. He wants to
obey the law. That's what I'm saying. How you gonna say that? How you gonna say we not citizens?
I got you, bro.
Hold on. You did speak a lot. Let me say this though.
Okay.
You
I'm
just
gonna
said
put
it
it
out
up
of
for
your
y'all.
mouth.
The white man's trick bag.
Right. The white man, is that the man that hit Nipsey? This the man that hit Nipsey? Look, let me tell you something, man. First of all, when we talk about the Constitution, all right? First of all, in the Constitution, we still regard it as 3/5 of a man. They never changed that, man. When we talk about standing your ground, okay? When we talk about standing your ground, I mean, they give, and you got to stop talking about Israelite brothers in that type of way, man. That's very disrespectful, and I would say that it's offensive. And I haven't offended you. I haven't, said any slur or slander against you, brother. So I was, the generalization has got to stop. So what I'm saying to you is that, no, man, when we talk about the Constitution, all right, we're still 3/5 of a man. And when you talk about standing your ground, for example, there are black people who have actually tried to use that law, which there was a sister, I can't remember what state she was from.
In Florida, and she went to jail. I know you're talking about.
And she went to jail for it. So,
Florida.
It's just like what Weeda was saying and the other brothers were saying before. Literally, when you look at the history of the SWAT team.
But y'all blame it on God though, so it really ain't no point. It ain't even really no point in talking about it because black people is cursed so because they eat pork and because they don't do what the Most High.
Why you going all over the place,
I'm not going all over the place. There's no point, bro. Like from what y'all saying, bro. If from what y'all saying and what y'all believe in, bro, a black man is doomed, bro. It's pointless.
No, I don't believe that, Bleedo.
Just to be
I can't get few words out. You speak more than all of us.
Hey, look, brother. The SWAT team was created, okay, not to protect the communities, not to stop drug infestation. The SWAT team literally was to annihilate the Black Panthers, brothers and sisters that created community programs where we get school lunch, like the breakfast lunch and all that stuff, that come from brothers that was in the Black Panther movement. These brothers, the SWAT team literally was created, just like we talked about before when we talked about police and why they were actually employed, which they were just slave catchers in the beginning. None of this stuff is actually created for us to be free or actually use the system in our benefit. It's actually just to keep us in our place.
Can I add something to this, brother? Let me add something to this. I really got to say something. Because, see, Bleedo totally misrepresents everything I say. So let me say this. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and blow this brother's mind. I'm going to go ahead and blow this brother's mind and let this brother know what I really said.
This man's name one time.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Because
you quick to say,
I could accept that because I may have offended him. I can feel that.
Hold on. Let me finish. You always say y'all believe. Don't y'all believe? You always say that. So y'all includes me, brother. So let me respond to that. So any way, when we talk about the law, yes, I know things about the law, brother. I do. And I can teach you some things about the law. Okay? I have no problem with the law. What I'm trying to explain to you, brother, is this. You got to know what the problem is in order to deal with it. You have to know what you're dealing with. This is what I'm educating you on. We're dealing with a police force that was established to catch runaway slaves. We can't disannul that knowledge. We have to understand why they was established. Now that I know they was established not for good reasons, but for bad reasons, then I deal with them in a different way, just like I deal with you in a different way. So anyway, I'm gonna tell you how I deal with the cop. Let me tell you how I deal with the cop. Since you want an answer to this problem, I'm not saying don't obey the law, brother. I'm not saying the black man is not doomed, but you know what I don't do? I don't pay state taxes no more. You know why? Because that cop is getting paid on state taxes. Okay? Ain't no federal cop ever harassed me. It's only been state cops. So I'm just doing my little 2 cents. I mean, it may not mean nothing, might not be a drop in the bucket. But you know what? I'm not paying nobody to shoot me. Okay? So that is what it is. When they start shooting black folks, you know.
Hold on. Now I got to interject, man. Hold up. You got to show me about that. You know what I'm saying? You got away with that. You ain't paying the state for that. You got to show me
all you got to do is file.
Now, I'll pay federal tax.
On your
now, brothers, pay your federal tax, brothers, because the IRS will lock your black behind up. So pay your federal. Pay your federal.
Right, check this out, right? Now, when you read Isaiah 10, it says that they make unrighteous decrees against my people, right? Against the poor, right? Now check this out. Now, August 17, 2017, they just came out with a law called Black Identity Extremists. Like with that stuff, what you talking about, stand your ground, any nigga call himself trying to stand up. No, I'm just saying. Any black man call himself trying to stand up and represent for his people is considered a terrorist and will be thrown in jail. So you can look up at that Black Identity Extremist and you want to call yourself trying to say, oh, I got the right to bear arms like in the Second Amendment. That's not for you, brother. That's not for you.
Well, in
Chicago,
we got to get gun license and then concealed carry license. So I have my gun license and I'm working on a concealed carry. So I do have the right to bear arms. So as long as you do what you're supposed to do, as long as you do what you're supposed to do and have your paperwork, you good. And you should know that because you teach Torah, and everything you're talking about is in writing and is documented. So if you have documentation, it's nothing that they can do to you because by law they have to abide by the law. No matter what you tell me, why did Philando Castile tell a man that he had a permit and he had the right to carry arms and he still got shot 4 times?
Shot him right there.
I don't know what the laws is in the state of Minnesota. I'm gonna say this. I don't know what the laws is in the state of Minnesota. I live in Illinois, so I only study the laws of what pertains to me.
That's terrible,
But I never said nothing was right, bro. So don't put that out.
No. The thing is that you should.
But let me say this.
But you said
I was quiet for a minute. Hold on, I've been quiet, so let me just get a couple words out. What's crazy about what y'all talking about and what y'all saying, to me, this is my opinion. And when I say y'all, I'm talking about on the panel. I'm not going to say Israelites and all that because the brother said I offended him, and I'm not trying to offend him. So when I say y'all, yes, you too. Well, yes, you too, Mercy. I'm talking to you as well. What's crazy to me? What's crazy? I'm just saying. What's crazy? Make sure it's understood. Y'all say that black people is cursed, right?
I never said that.
Yeah.
I never said that.
So you didn't say that. Okay, so I agree. I'm sorry. Like, you ain't in that. You ain't in it.
We were blessed. We turned it into a curse. That's what it was, brother. Brothers like you that think that law that's abominable as it is righteous.
That's fine, bro. I don't even want to, because I want to stay pertaining to what we talking about with the case and everything. So you saying that? So hold on. So because black people or so-called black people is cursed, we have a God that looks over the world, and he puts this hex or this spell on black people. So when they go to court and they get killed by white cops, in his word, he's saying that this is what's going to happen to black people. So they basically are examples. Okay, so this is an example. So God is using the white man to punish the black man as an example.
Right.
So if that's the case, what is the problem? Why y'all worried about it? Because you're fighting against God. There's no point. And this is the point that I feel like makes. I don't want to sound offensive. Make y'all
it's the white man's trick bag.
It makes y'all weak because y'all don't have no fighting y'all for y'all people.
Why are we in the state that we in? Let me ask you that.
For not keeping the commandments.
Why are we in the state we in other than being lazy?
First of all, you have to believe in the narrative that's being painted. So if I tell you that you was a slave and you believe it, guess what? You're gonna act like a slave. So your mind adapts to what people teaches you and what people shows you. So I don't even hold on to none of that stuff, that narrative that y'all have.
Wait a minute, were you not a slave?
My people was a slave and all that.
Wait a minute, were you a slave?
He don't believe that, brother. He don't believe he was a slave. He don't believe he was.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, you don't believe you was a slave?
Hold on.
Wait a minute. We gotta stop. Hold on, brother.
I was born in a time where.
Wait a minute. Were your people brought over here as slaves, brother?
I don't know. No, I don't know. No,
you don't know a lot,
my father.
That's crazy that
hold on.
Like
my father that I know physically wasn't a slave. My grandfather, who I physically met, wasn't a slave. Now, his father was a slave and their father was. Hold on, let me finish what I'm saying, bro.
Okay.
What you mean? They came through their mother, the vagina, like you came through your mother's vagina, and they were born in the world.
Wait a minute. What continent did they come from?
They come from this country. We was born in this country,
man, come
brother.
on,
So
man. Now you sound like you were informant or something. Now, come on, man. Let's be for real. Like, where
I'm
did
an
your people
informed.
come
I
from?
told you we got the white man's trick bag. I keep telling y'all that.
Man, like, what's going on here, man?
See, so now,
Okay,
let me make this point. Let me make.
Wait a minute, brother. You said that you were not a slave. You said that your people were not a slave.
This is what I'm saying.
This
is the problem with y'all.
Let him make his point, though. Let him make his point. Yeah, make your point, Lito.
This is the problem with y'all psyche, bro, the way y'all think. Y'all accept being low. You accept being low. You accept being a slave. You accept teaching your children that they are slaves and that they are at the bottom. I don't hold that. I'm a king. I'm royal. I teach my children that they are royal, bro. I don't teach them that they below and that somebody is above them, bro. That's what y'all teach. I don't have to take hold of what you're teaching and say, oh, my people were slaves and we come on slave ship. I don't have to believe that, bro. That's your belief.
You know why you're not a king, Lito? Because you pay
don't
taxes.
have to believe Jesus.
Don't no king pay taxes.
Believe Jesus. Listen to what I'm saying. What? That don't make no sense, bro. Because do you understand how the law? Do you hold on, bro?
A king don't pay taxes.
Hold on. Do you understand how the?
Are you going to argue against that?
Do you? Hold on. Do you understand how the universe operates, bro? Like
do you
everything in the
understand how
world
a king operates? Because you're not a king.
Everything in the world.
Hold on.
Everything in the world is a tax.
Hold on. Who's that talking, right? Who that? Kwame?
That's Kwame. Let me say something, because this is madness, brother. What is going on here, man? Wait a minute. First of all, the brother just asked you, do you pay taxes, man? Yes.
Yes, boy, he asked, this brother. He asked me this question 100 times, bro.
Hey,
you can go back to the other show.
You just talk for a long time? Come on, where the brother Sal at saying, like, let this brother
talk,
man?
You asked me a question, bro. You asked me a question.
Hold on. You got to share the mic. You still got to share the mic, though. We got to share the mic, man.
Share the mic. Okay, man, that was a good point that the brother brought up, man. You do pay taxes, man. You. The whole reason the whole reason that Americans became rebels was because they wanted to get away from what?
And they were kings. What the fuck?
They wanted to get away from paying taxes because they wanted what? They wanted their own nation. They wanted to be their own what? King, sovereign nation,
paid
right?
taxes in the Bible too, and they were considered a royal priesthood, and they were kings. But they paid taxes too, though. So
I must be on mute, brother, because
that means brother Mercy's a prince because he only paid the federal.
That's right. Thank you, Sal. Thank you, Sal. Thank you, Sal. Thank you, Sal. Thank you, Sal.
Oh man.
Thank you, Sal. But I still pay federal, Sal. I still pay federal.
Now, brother, let me ask you a question. Now, I'm still trying to understand where you came from, my dude.
Oh my God, bro.
No, I'm not asking that to be. No. I'm only asking that because what I want to bring into the picture is that yes, we all have descendants that came from shackles and chains, and we cannot. And the big problem. Wait a minute. Okay, minute, brother. Let me finish.
No, I'm going to understand the belief.
The truth is that we came over here in shackles, the majority of us. I don't know, if you were already over here when Pangea was around.
I wasn't born.
Bleedo was never a slave, brother. Bleedo was never a slave.
But the truth is this. If you weren't a slave, you were a slave now. And the reason I'm saying that is because when we talk about being kings, when we talk about being princes, we still have to acknowledge our roots. We still have to acknowledge our history. You can't, the greatest brothers like Marcus Garvey, who taught that type of demeanor that you're talking about as far as being a prince, one of his biggest proverbs was that a tree without roots, is basically dead. So you cannot sit up here and tell me that you don't know where you came from, you don't know where your people came from, and then say you're a king and a prince, and then you're paying taxes as a tributary. That is a confused individual that's in the land of what?
Okay, can I respond when he finished? I want to respond when he finished okay, so let me respond, then you can read that. Okay, so what I'm gonna say to that is, bro, you have a belief system, bro. So if you believe, regardless of how you want to look at it, bro, somebody told you that your people were slaves, okay? So if that's something that you want to believe, you got every right to believe in it, just the same way that somebody believes in Jesus and somebody don't believe in Jesus. It's all a belief. You wasn't physically brought here on a slave ship. You wasn't physically shackled to anything. You didn't physically go through none of that. So for you to say I am a slave or I was a slave in the way that it's written as far as history goes, that's just something that you believe in. And the second point that you made about as far as about me being a king and things of that nature, and I got to know where I come from and all that. The mind is powerful, bro. The way you think is the way you are. So if I think or if I feel I'm a king, brother. Who am I subject to? The only person I'm subject to is God. In the way that the Creator set the world up. In the world that we live in, we have government. We have people that controls the people. That's the same thing that took place in the Bible that y'all believe in. The Israelites had a high priest, somebody that was over them, but they were still supposed to be chosen by God and be God's chosen people, and they still were supposed to pay taxes. That doesn't mean because you pay tax, you are a part of a government. You are a part of a nation. So being a part of that nation, these are things that take place. You get a mortgage, you get a house, you get car insurance, you get a driver's license. All that is a part of the system. Nobody can get away from that system, no matter how spiritual I am. I'm in a body, and in this body, this is the way the world operates, and I accept that, bro. I don't make excuses for that. I don't say God cursed me.
Let me finish up. You got a Social Security card, right? So check this out.
I know this already.
Okay,
I'm
finna read it anyway. It says the Social Security number is an important weapon in the hands of the territorial gangster. People use deception, fraud, coercion, and terror to claim jurisdiction, so-called over people who happen to be in a certain geographic territory. Territorial gangsters love to create systems that enable them to dominate and control their victims so they can live off the fruits of their labor like parasites or cannibals. They use the Social Security number to keep track of their victims. Other agencies such as the Credit Bureau and banks also use the Social Security number identify people. The American TGs like to operate in the basis that because you applied for a Social Security and state in the application that you are a U.S. citizen, you are their slave and they own you. They won't put it in this way, but this is the basis on which they operate. They have the right to force children to compulsory schools, concentration camps for brainwashing and mind destruction because they own your children. You want to go about the birth certificate when you sign your name on the birth certificate?
I'm just saying that's not. I'm just that point about going to school. My children homeschool. My children, I got 2 children that's homeschooled, and they've been homeschooled since they was 5.
But you got a birth certificate, right?
Nobody ever came and picked me up. They got a birth certificate and a Social Security number.
You signed your name on there, right?
Of course.
You signed their birth certificate?
Of course.
Okay. We can go with that with the birth certificate.
But the thing is, and that's cool what you're doing, and that's cool. That's cool with what you read, and I'm not saying.
But see, that's not saying that you still.
Now, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying nothing that you're saying is incorrect. But look at it from this perspective. In that system that we live in, you need a Social Security number and all of those things so you can get a job, so you could apply.
Africa don't got Social Security like that over there. They said they don't carry Social Securities over there in Africa.
Okay,
so why is it that they don't do that over there, but they do it over here?
Okay, that's fine, bro. I don't live in Africa, bro. So I don't like none of that means anything. Listen to what I'm saying. We live here, bro. We talking about a white cop killing a black man right now, and we talking about laws that's here. I don't have nothing to do with Africa. If I'm gonna move to Africa and they got different set of laws and different rules, then we can go over there and figure that out. But we are here. So you have a Social Security card and I have a Social Security card. And we need to figure out how can we come together, if that's what y'all want to do, and figure out how we can make some things that can change and make some differences and understand these things. If we can use credit the same way they use credit, we can get businesses and get business loans the same way they get business loans. Slaves didn't have cell phones. Slaves couldn't be on Blog Talk right now, Debate Talk for You Radio and have no conversations. You in a whole nother city, I'm in a whole nother city, and we able to converse with each other and come up with ideas and things of that nature. But we don't do that because we fight each other all day about information that means nothing. You believe you a slave, that's fine. That means nothing. That has no value on what's going on in the world today.
So you know what this means important to me? Well, it don't mean that it's not important to you. I know where I stand at. Therefore, I'm in America, and the Most High said that we are amongst our enemies. These white people is killing us, like he said they was going to do. Same thing. So you can keep on thinking like you're going to try to come up with some type of idea.
Your enemy could be your own brother, though, bro. You can look at it and say the white man,
okay,
bro,
but you still got the answer to the white man.
If you
still got the answer to the white man. It's no different.
I understand, but
he must got a
but
white
you looking at it,
girlfriend or something, man.
You looking at it wrong. No, I don't. You looking.
Don't touch that dial. You're now listening to Debate Talk Radio.
All right, family. Well, we got to wrap it up. Once again, it was another classic open mic show. Unfortunately, we got to wrap it up, but I'm going to give everybody last words, though. Once again, I appreciate the callers that called in and made this show happen. The open mic, you know what I'm saying? We spoke about metaphysics. We spoke about blood sacrifice, the Guyger case, the birth certificates, taxes, all kind of. That's what the open mic is for, though. We speak about various topics. But let's get some last words from everybody. Hey, you was real quiet tonight, man. Any last words, brother? Go ahead, bro.
All right, yeah, and Sal, I'm not with the, with the talking over people and the confusion. I don't get down like that because the New Testament says, let all things be done decently and in order. So that's how I'm with, let you say something and I'll say something. We do it decently and in order. If not, I'm not going to engage in it, you know what I'm saying? But from listening tonight, it's clear to me that Bleedo is definitely working with the adversary, with Satan. He's constantly going up against the Most High's Torah. He called the Most High a liar when he went and talked about Genesis. That the Most High lied. Called the Most High God a liar. And he's saying that the Most High's son blood is not literal. And we don't need the Torah. The reason why we're here in this condition because we broke the Torah. And he's teaching the Torah is nothing. So he's definitely working with Satan. Okay? Everything he said tonight tells that he's working like working for the white man. Okay? He's constantly he's downing Hebrew Israelites. He's talking about how he's spiritual. He sees it. But he's talking about his own people constantly. How do you see it? If you're so spiritual, why are you talking about your own people aiding on the white man? We can debate amongst ourselves about information, but you ain't got to down no other black man. That's what I've seen him doing tonight all the time. Misquoting people, talking about his own kind, but yet he wants to say that he's spiritual and he sees it, and we're the one that don't see it, but he's the one that see it. And he's talking about the Most High and his laws. So clearly tonight, he's working for Satan, and we heard tonight the proof. And with that, I want to say shalom to you, Sal. Shalom to all the brothers, except Bleedo. Brother, come off of that Satan spirit you have on you, bro, and get back to the real Messiah, the real Christ. Hamashiach Yahweh. Shalom.
All right, once again, that's Amayan. By the way, family, we had a debate talk for you merchandise, y'all. I'll leave the link in the description box. We have hoodies, T-shirts, we have coffee cups, all kind of stuff, represent for the brand. 10 seasons. We got a 10-season logo on the merchandise as well. So support the brand and click on the link, teespring.com/store/debate talk for you store. It's in the description box. Let's get some last words. Let's go to my boy Wida. Last words. Yo, Wida, you there? You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I thought you muted me. I just heard again. Okay, I just want to say thanks for letting me be able to come on your platform and have an open dialogue with the brothers down here. And I like to give praises to the Most High. And I just want to say this. It is very important how we see life it is today. If you don't understand who your enemy is, and you can't understand why it is that majority of it is that your people is being targeted and being killed, you got a serious problem. Because, see, right now we living on borrowed time. We living in last days. And until our people wake up and start understanding that the white man has nothing to do with us, is that they're going to continue to kill us, man, I mean, it's just like you blindfold. You can't actually see what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? So we really got to wake up and get to understanding what's going on with our people and why things happen the way it's happening. And that's all I got to say, man. You know what I'm saying? Peace, and thank you for letting me be on your platform, Sal.
All right, man. Appreciate you coming on. All right, and for those who want to help keep the show on the air, you can donate, PayPal, debatetalkview@gmail.com. Every month I got to play Blog Talk. Every month I got to play Blog Talk to keep the show on the air, so your assistance will keep the show on the air, family. So if you appreciate the content, you appreciate what we do, you can donate, PayPal, debatetalkview@gmail.com, or if you have Cash App, $, Sal Showtime. I want to thank all the hosts on this program that actually help keep the show on the air for a particular month. I appreciate everybody on here. But let's go to Kwame. Last words.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, you got last
All right,
words.
beautiful.
Yep.
Love the platform. First time being on the platform. Enjoyed it. I definitely would have dealt with it the same way the brother who first initiated the last comments didn't know that we would have a time where we could give our last words. But I would like to say that definitely keep your eyes open, everybody, and truly be, to as far as yourself, make sure that you are giving yourself a reality check on things. And I think tonight I really was able to see and get into the mind of certain individuals who refuse to actually see the world for what it is. Peace.
All right, man. Appreciate you, man. Feel free to call in again and follow the program, bro. We appreciate you. Go to iTunes, follow us, debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. I mean, Debate Talk for You. That's the email, debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. Of course, we're on Blog Talk Radio and on YouTube, Debate Talk for You. Follow the brand. All right, let's go to my brother Mercy. Last words.
Yeah, I just want to say it was a great show tonight, but also I hope everybody can hear the lies that Bleedo told, and all he's handing out is the white man's trick bag. First, he want to say we're not citizens, then he want to use the law to as if we are citizens and use the law against it. So my thing is, then he's going to try to say that we don't study law. Yeah, we do study law, Bleedo. I do. Okay, I spent a lot of time studying the law. That's why I found a way not to pay state taxes, brother. If you let me speak, maybe I can give you some wisdom, but you don't want no wisdom because you in the white man's trick bag, like I've been telling you. See, the white man have loopholes that he wrote into the law where you don't have to pay state taxes. But, of course, Bleedo, I know you still pay state taxes. So anyway, like I said, you're not as wise as you think you are. So the point is this. I'm trying to fight the power, brother, and I fight the power through not paying state taxes because it's the state police that's shooting our people down. And sorry, I don't agree with what the family did, but that's their son. They can do whatever they choose to do. I would not hug a police officer that shot a family member of mine. I'm sorry, I can't do that. Maybe you can, and maybe that's why it shows. And I think your theology or whatever you want to call it, your viewpoints is reflective of that. You're so easy forgiving of a cop that killed our people, but you're so quick to blaspheme Hebrew Israelites for what they believe. And we ain't killed nobody. You know what I'm saying? At least I haven't. I haven't killed anybody, but you made derogatory statements towards me, but then you can't even forgive me for what I believe, when I believe what is right. So it's nothing to forgive. So my point is this, Bleedo, and for the rest, I hope everybody can see what he's espousing is lies. He even called God a liar. So after he said that, I was done with him. So I would like to say my last words is it's a great show, but I also would like to say to people, study the law, study the scriptures, and understand God's truth, and he always tells the truth. And that's it. Brother Mercy out.
I appreciate the Brother Mercy. Last words, my brother Guido. Last words. And if you missed yesterday's show, go check it out. It's in the archives, so you can check it out on the YouTube, on Blog Talk. Check out the archives. Guido, last words.
Yeah. Can you hear me? There's a lot said to me, so I got to I'm trying to make it short.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to say, can you hear me? Okay. First of all, I want to say. First of all, I want to say to what Amayan said as far as me being a Satan or whatever. So what you got to understand about Satan, the word Satan means the opposer of good. Okay. So in his mind, he believed that he's right. It's the same way that Peter thought that he was right when he was talking to Jesus and he said, "Get behind me, Satan." Okay, so of course, if he disagrees with a person and you disagree with what they're saying, you're going to believe that they are Satan or call them a Satan. So that's the only problem with that brother. He don't understand when I said that God was a liar, I was saying it based off of the way that they said you read the text. So I said either God is a liar, which is what they were saying because they said that these people lived for 900 years, yet their eyes was open instantly. And the serpent told them, in the day your eyes will be open. So that was the point I was making in their story. I understand the Creator is the author of good and evil, as the text say, okay? Also, what I want to point out as far as I liked the conversation when we started dealing with the law and taxes and the cops and things of that nature. I think that's a great build. But what I don't understand about them is that they said that the white man is their enemy, yet they believe that God cursed them and put them in the situation that they in because they didn't keep the law. So how could your enemy be the white man when it was God that placed you, from the way they believe, into these conditions based off something that you didn't even do? You didn't eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. You didn't transgress the commandments of the law. You wasn't in Jerusalem, and you didn't have this covenant made with you, yet that's what you believe. So even on the surface of what we've seen today, how powerful the mind is, you can believe whatever you want to believe, brother. And that's why I don't try to deal with people in their beliefs and argue with their beliefs and what they believe in. So I hope that people understand there's no way I would ever talk against the Creator, because the spirit of the Creator is life. And those who are in life don't tell people that they are cursed and that they are living cursed. They tell people that they are living and that the Creator lives within them, and they got the same power that everybody else has. So I just want to say that, and appreciate you having me back on again. And it's always me against everybody. It's always been that way since I've been on this show. So I'm used to it. So peace to the Debate Talk for You audience. Again, I appreciate it, Sal, and everybody have a good night.